Hey guys, how's it going? Dan here from HempTech, and today I've got a product I think a lot of people are going to be interested in, and it's this. The iPhone 7 smart battery case, aka the Quasimodo of battery cases. This is because of its butt ugly design. Now when I first saw this for the 6S, I actually thought it was a joke. I thought Apple are not going to mass produce something like this ugly. It's got a big bump in the middle of it and it's very un-Apple. If you look at other battery packs out there like the Moffy Juice Pack and lots of other third-party cases, this isn't very sleek. So as you can imagine, the 6S version didn't really sell very well. Not just because it's not the best looking, but also it was £100 and it only gave 80% extra battery, which isn't great. So you may be wondering, Dan, why the hell have you got one in your hand then? Well, there's three main reasons. The first one being, I found it on Amazon for £60 instead of £100. You can get the black one or the white one. Secondly, the iPhone 7 case actually gives 120% extra battery, which is a lot better than the last one. And thirdly, I actually saw one of these at a party a few weeks ago, and I've got to say it didn't look as bad as I thought. The person had a red one and it looked really cool. So I have purchased this thing for you guys to see if it's any good. Because if you're anything like me, you struggle to get a full day's worth of battery, this could be really beneficial for you all. Because let's face it, most of us have an iPhone nowadays and we struggle with the battery lives. While I'm talking about battery lives, I'm going to have a little rant because it's my channel, I can do what I want. I feel like batteries are due an upgrade. Now just think about it, the technology that's around us is absolutely amazing. Technology has gone through the roof in the last few years. When I was a kid, my TV was like watching a postage stamp from 10 feet away. Now there's 75, 85 inch screens with more megapixels than there are people on the planet. Yet the batteries that are in the remotes are the exact same technology. Like nowadays there's self-driving cars. There's cars that can drive from LA to New York by themselves. I mean, for God's sake, there's rockets out there now that will literally fly to space, come back down and land on a moving platform in the middle of the ocean, upright. I mean, for f***'s sake, a guy's about to get a full head transplant in the next few weeks. And I'm not even kidding, look it up. Yet the battery in my phone needs charging every day. Elon Musk, inventors out there, put your pens down, stop what you're doing, and please just invent a battery that lasts longer than what they do now. I don't want to be charging this every day. I want a battery that I only have to charge like once a month, maybe once a week, something like that. Anyway, rant over. Let's get this thing opened, attach it to the phone, and let's see what it looks like. So I've got the phone case on and I've got to say it actually doesn't look too bad. It adds a bit of weight to it, but nothing too much. I'm going to compare it now to the classic black silicone case. So it does add a bit of length to it, but nothing major. I've got to say it feels absolutely awesome. So guys, I'm away on the weekend on a trip. I'm going to be using this the whole time. I'm going to test it out, see what it's like, and then come back to you after the weekend and give you my verdict on it. See you in a week. Hey guys, I've had this case for 2 weeks now. Let's take a look at some pros and cons that I've found in that time. Believe it or not, my first pro is actually the design. Now I never thought I'd say that, but I actually really like it now. I thought I was going a bit mad, so I asked over 100 people from all different age ranges what their thoughts on it were. And I was actually really blown away by what people said. Out of over 100 people, only one disliked it. Everyone else liked the look of it and said they'd prefer to have it on than off. Some of them mentioned things like it adding a bit of weight, but overall they said that wouldn't be a problem. Other things people seemed to like was the feel of it. Some people said that it would maybe help with grip because of the bit that sticks out. The biggest pro for a lot of people was probably the front-facing speakers. As soon as I mentioned them, people really liked the thought of it because a lot of people use their phones to play music now, and it just seemed like something that people were interested in. So front-facing sound is actually a big plus for this case. FYI, the one person that disliked it, he said it was because he'd prefer it to be pink and fluffy, so probably not the most legit reason. Not going to mention any names, of course. My second pro seems like a bit of an obvious one, but it's how much extra battery life it gives you. In my 2 weeks, I've been away on 2 weekends. The first one was a PGO school trip where I used my phone a lot. It was on charge first thing in the morning on Friday. It gave me all day battery life Friday, all day Saturday, and it literally ran out, as you can see from this image, on the Saturday night. Now again, that was me using my phone a lot, so I'd call that heavy usage. And it gave me 2 whole days, which I thought was pretty good. The weekend after that was a weekend in Centre Parks. Again, I was out and about, but I used the phone a lot less. Because of that, I actually got all day Saturday battery life, all day Sunday, and I didn't even have to charge it until Monday evening, so nearly 3 days battery life. That is absolutely awesome, and I think that's going to be an absolute must for so many people. It just makes life so much easier not having to charge it all the time. Another pro for me is the back sticking out actually makes it easier to type. I'm used to having a Plus. I went to a smaller phone and I found it quite fiddly texting. Because it actually adds to the back of it, it makes it easier for me to hold. And I think this would probably be beneficial for people with bigger hands as well. A big pro for me, and one of the things that makes it a smart case, is this. You swipe across like that and you have the percentage of the battery and the case as well. A lot of third-party cases just give you 3 or 4 LEDs. That's not really specific enough, whereas this gives you it in a lot more detail. Another pro for me is that compared to the other silicone cases, i.e. this Apple one here, it gives it a lot more protection. There's no bottom bit to this, so it's not really protecting the case if it falls. Whereas this, there's a lot more protection. As you can see, it completely surrounds it. Now you don't always have to have this case on. Once both fully charged, it's designed so the case's battery is used first and then the phone. So if you wanted to, once this had run out, you can actually take it out and put it into another case. So this could be ideal, basically just to have it charged in a drawer somewhere in case you are going somewhere or there's an emergency, you can just put it on when you need to. We've looked at some pros, now let's take a look at some cons. The first thing I noticed the first night I had this was the weight it adds to it. I felt it straight away. As soon as I got in bed and I started texting, I noticed it. But you do get used to it. Second thing is if you're wearing tight trousers, then this does protrude out quite a bit. If it's just to chuck into like a handbag or something like that, if you're a girl, you're not going to notice it. But if you are wearing tight trousers, it may get a little bit annoying. In the survey I did, generally people said it feels better than it looks. It actually does. It really does help with the grip. I prefer it personally now. When I put my old case on, it feels weird. It feels a bit too small. I can't text as well. But it doesn't look the best. Let's be honest. It could be a lot sleeker. But again, when I asked people, a lot of people said they prefer it like this because of how it feels. So it's a tricky one. I mean, you can watch all the videos and reviews you want, but you're never going to know until you actually try one. So my advice is to go to an Apple shop or anywhere that sells one and just have a little look at it. Trust me, it's a lot nicer looking than the pictures make out. The last con for me is probably one that not many people have thought about, but I overthink a lot of things, including how batteries are affected by things like chargers and stuff. Now, if you look at my phone at the moment, you can see it's actually charging. When this case is on, it's constantly in charge. That means that when the phone is in the case, it's on charge the whole time until the case's battery runs out and then it goes to the phone. Now, having a phone on charge constantly is not very good for it. A couple of things about batteries: when they're fully charged, they're meant to be completely depleted and then fully charged again. That's the healthiest way to use a battery. If you want to store a battery, the optimum percentage is about 40%. Basically what I'm getting at, guys, is I don't know how this case is going to affect the longevity of my iPhone 7's battery. Is it going to damage it? I don't know. It's something that I'm not really sure about, but I don't really feel like my phone being on charge all the time is very good for it. Pros and cons done. Overall feeling? Overall, I really like it, and I think anyone that buys it is going to feel the same. Is it worth its RRP price of £100? No, not even close. But at £60 on Amazon, that's not too bad. I know you can get cheaper cases at £30, £40, but you're paying for the smart functionality. You're paying to know the exact battery life of it. You're paying for that one charging port fits all type thing. And because it's an Apple product, you're paying for seamless connectivity and fantastic build quality. So guys, that's it for the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you loved it, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!